When did the family who called you a monster come crawling back for help? I was 23 when I refused to give my kidney to my golden child brother, and my family disowned me for letting him die. My brother Ryan had been the family favorite since birth. Star athlete, straight A's, full scholarship to medical school. I was the disappointment who barely graduated high school and worked at a gas station. When Ryan's kidney started failing from a genetic condition, everyone assumed I'd donate mine without question. It's what siblings do, my mother said. Ryan has so much potential. He's going to save lives as a doctor. The testing showed I was a perfect match, but I said no. Not because I hated Ryan, but because the surgery would cost me my job. I couldn't afford 6 weeks off work, and my boss had already said he'd fire me if I took extended medical leave. I was barely surviving paycheck to paycheck, and losing my job meant losing my apartment. My family exploded. Dad called me selfish and said I was jealous of Ryan's success. Mom cried for hours saying I was murdering my own brother. My sister screamed that I was a monster who cared more about a minimum wage job than family. They started a GoFundMe calling me heartless and posting my photo with captions about how I refused to save my dying brother. Raised $50,000 in donations while painting me as the villain who chose money over blood. The story went viral locally. Strangers recognized me at work and called me a murderer. Someone threw a brick through my apartment window with a note saying, "Child killers deserve to die." I had to quit my job anyway because customers refused to be served by the guy who let his brother die. Ryan got a kidney from the donor list 8 months later and made a full recovery. But my family never spoke to me again. I was dead to them. The monster who couldn't make the ultimate sacrifice. I moved 3 states away, changed my name, and started over. Worked construction, saved every penny, eventually started my own contracting business. Met Lisa at a job site where she was the architect. She knew my story and didn't judge me for choosing survival over sacrifice. We built a good life together. 7 years later, my phone rang at 2 a.m. Mom was sobbing. Ryan had relapsed. His new kidney was failing and he needed another transplant. But this time, the waiting list was longer and his condition was worse. "We need you," she cried. "You're still a perfect match. The doctors say you're his only hope." I couldn't believe the audacity. "So now you want the kidney from the monster who murdered her own brother?" "That was different," she said. "We were emotional. We didn't mean those things. You're family." "Family?" I laughed. "When I was homeless because you destroyed my reputation, was I family then? When strangers were threatening to kill me because of your GoFundMe lies, was I family?" "Please," Dad got on the phone. "Ryan has a wife now. Kids. You'd be saving a father, not just a brother. And what am I? What was I 7 years ago when I had nothing and you took that away too?" They offered me money. Ryan's medical fund had grown to $200,000 and they'd give me half. I almost laughed. Now they wanted to pay for the kidney they said I should have given for free. "You're absolutely right," I told them. "Family should sacrifice for each other." That's why 7 years ago, maybe Ryan could have postponed medical school to help his brother keep his job and apartment. But I guess his future was more important than mine. "This is different," Mom insisted. "Ryan could die. So could I during surgery. But that didn't matter when you needed me to risk my life for free." I hung up. They called hundreds of times. Posted new GoFundMe campaigns begging for help finding me. Ryan recorded videos from his hospital bed asking for forgiveness and my kidney. They hired a private investigator to track me down, found my business address, and showed up at my office. Lisa called security when they wouldn't leave. Ryan died 6 months later. They blamed me publicly, posted obituaries saying he was murdered by his selfish brother, told newspapers I chose money over family twice. The truth is, I would have considered helping if they'd approached me with respect instead of demands. If they'd acknowledged their part in destroying my life and offered real amends instead of bribes. But they wanted my kidney while still believing I was a monster who deserved nothing. Lisa and I have 2 kids now. They'll never meet their grandparents or uncle because I refuse to let my children near people who think love comes with price tags attached. Sometimes the cost of being family is higher than the cost of being alone.